I want to be the best. Today's fighters, they have been taught that that's not the way to do it nowadays. Nowadays, go for the bag.
Because the only fight for Tank outside of, after Lamont Roach, was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right? Now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people, Shakur Stevenson beats
an article when we look at all the great fighters that's been I wouldn't say disrespected, but they was going through that. Oh, he ain't fight this, he ain't do this. All of them go through that. That's part of the boxing game. Stay strong, youngin', you know.
Roy Jones Jr. confronted Gervonta Davis, urging him to face Shakur Stevenson instead of Jake Paul. He believes modern fighters are more focused on money than making history. According to Roy, Tank has learned this mindset from his mentor, Floyd Mayweather, choosing safer, high-paying fights instead of taking real risks for greatness. Roy says this attitude shows how boxing has shifted from passion and pride to business and profit.
So why can't he do it? You know what I'm saying? He made more money than anybody. He was smarter than everybody. He didn't take too many stupid risks. That's what he did, and it worked for him. And people okay with that and accepting it. So why can't Tank do it? Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentor is for, to teach you how to do this thing the smart way and not get you hurt, not have to take no risks, not to take many chances. So if that's what you learn, if that's the easy way out, why not do that?
The boxing community agrees that the real fight fans want to see is between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. Both are elite, highly skilled and proven champions, representing the true spirit of boxing competition. Unlike Jake Paul, who's still viewed as a YouTuber-turned-boxer, Shakur and Tank built their legacies through years of dedication and hard work. Their clash would not only excite fans, but also decide who truly stands as the most complete fighter of this generation. A battle for legacy, pride, and skill, not social media fame or viral hype.
Shakur to have 2 belts. We have Tank to get a couple of the belts. And you have a undisputed fight for those two in Las Vegas, in America, between 2 American guys getting undisputed championship of the world. That would be a mega fight. And we're talking about 2 guys that you have the most dominant, persistent, powerful guy, pound for pound powerful guy, I should say, in Tank, who also is very good defensively. But then you're fighting the best defensive fighter in the entire world, in my opinion. That is a fight I would love to see happen. I would be a big fan of, but I think if we could let that kind of fester and develop for a little bit, and we get that fight, summertime next year, fall of next year, where this is an undisputed fight, I think that's the fight we would love to see have happen. I would be all for that. And I think it's realistic. Like I said, I don't think Tank's losing to anybody except for possibly Shakur, and I don't think Shakur's losing to anybody except for Paul.
Roy Jones Jr., one of boxing's most respected veterans, also declared that Jake Paul will never become a world champion. He didn't say it out of hate, but from understanding what it truly takes to reach that level. Roy explained that boxing isn't about fame or flashy promotions. It's about years of experience, mental toughness, and real grit inside the ring. While he credited Jake for improving and bringing attention to the sport, he made it clear that greatness comes from testing yourself against real fighters, not chasing easy wins.
Will become a world champion?
No.
Why?
I think if they make him fight tough opponents, guys with experience, those guys will beat him. Now, if you catch somebody like myself at the end of their career, or somebody like Tyson, he caught at the end of their career, the chances are much higher. Because now it becomes more of a 50-50. You got a guy who's better than him, but the age factor. You understand me? And that's the only way to balance it for him to make it a 50-50 fight. Somebody who's on his level at the same age, those guys have too much experience. You understand me? So he's not going to beat those guys. But you find a guy who is past his prime, who has a mentality further than his, but past their prime, it kind of evens the stake.
Tim Bradley offered another angle, saying Shakur Stevenson doesn't necessarily need a fight with Tank Davis. If Shakur truly believes Tank hasn't fought top competition, then chasing that matchup makes little sense. Bradley argued that Shakur's motivation might not be legacy, but the spotlight and attention that come with Tank's name. He believes many fighters today are drawn by fame and pay-per-view numbers rather than proving who's the best. Still, he admits that Tank's power and reputation make him a challenge worth taking.
Fighters, so on and so forth. So, with that being said, why even want to entertain the fight with Tank Davis? I mean, how much credit are you going to really get, Shakur, besides the money, right? That's what Tank brings. He brings interest. He brings a lot of fans in the seats, you know. But as far as legacy goes, if people are holding Tank at a very low status, well, do you need him? Do you really need him? How you doing, man? Good morning. Do you really need him? Because I personally don't think that you need him, you know. Shakur, you should be here to create your own legacy. You know, you're about the competition. You are about that bread as well. And I think it's important for you to really look at the landscape, man, of boxing and see where your big money fights are, you know, besides Tank Davis. As you know, you hear through the grapevine, I think he even told you on X that, you know, he's contemplating retirement after his Jake Paul fight. You know, you're getting ready, hopefully, if Teofimo Lopez signs the contract, Shakur, to be fighting Teofimo Lopez, who has accomplished quite a bit in the sport, man, and has been in the ring with some legends, Josh Taylor, also Lomachenko. I think that type of fight makes sense. You know, going up to 140 pounds, getting another strap, you know, beating the quote unquote the Ring Magazine champion, or considered the best #1 fighter at 140.
Carl Froch didn't hold back either, calling Jake Paul a bully for choosing to fight someone much smaller like Tank Davis. Froch said Jake is using his natural size advantage to appear dominant, but that doesn't prove real boxing ability. He criticized the match as a money-driven stunt rather than a fair fight, saying boxing should be about equal skill and courage, not physical mismatches designed to sell views.
Taking the piss, like he always does. Just from saying I'm going to fight AJ tonight, he's fighting Gervonta Davis, who's 100 pounds in weight lighter. 100 pounds. Weight divisions in boxing are split up, some of them, the lower weights, by 3 or 4 pounds. All I can say about Jake Paul fighting somebody half his size is he's a bully. Why are you fighting a guy half his size? It's wrong.
Yeah.
He's gone from Krusty the Clown now to Sideshow Bob. He's getting worse. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy that's just taking a piss out of the sport, and I don't think this has actually gained much interest. The press conference was dead.
Yeah,
I noticed there weren't many press there. It's not had a big media coverage.
Yeah.
I think people are finally realising actually that this is a big charade, and yeah, I think I'm not impressed. Gervonta Davis, I think maybe he's had enough of the game. He got drawn in his last fight. He was lucky to get the draw as well. But yeah, the whole thing again, it's a clown show.
Shakur Stevenson fired back with confidence, claiming that Tank Davis will never want to step into the ring with him because he knows how dangerous that fight would be. Shakur said it not out of arrogance, but out of belief in his own skill. He believes Tank's team understands that his defensive mastery and ring IQ would frustrate a heavy puncher like Tank. Fans saw this as a psychological jab meant to pressure Tank. But so far, Tank has remained silent, focusing instead on safer, high-paying fights.
Question before I go. Why not fight Tank at 135?
Tank ain't gonna fight him, man. He not gonna fight him.
You gotta realize with Tank, he on that other side where he gonna, you know, act
Take
like
all the cupcakes. Alex, say it.
Man, I'm quite sure.
Look,
Tank to fight you here.
So you saying he don't want to put that record up?
Look,
Shady, I know Tank.
Is, man.
I know Tank, Shady.
I know Tank too.
Let him talk. Go ahead.
Hey, I know Tank too, and I know for a fact at the end of the day, like, he is not jumping into no fight with me. Like, that's a whole different type of atmosphere. That's not like fighting up saying.
So basically, you telling me Tank's scared?
I ain't gonna say the man's scared. I'm just saying for a fact.
So what
I know he not jumping in the ring with me.
Promoter Eddie Hearn also weighed in, saying Tank Davis never seriously considered fighting Jake Paul for competitive reasons. He revealed that Tank had the opportunity to face Lamont Roach or accept a fight with Shakur Stevenson, but chose the easier and more profitable route. According to Hearn, if Tank truly wanted to prove himself, he'd face Shakur. And in his opinion, Shakur would win because of his patience, precision, and superior boxing IQ.